So this is the next project.
These mud guards are a little bit tatty. Small bit of rust, some holes and stuff. Lights are broken. We have new lights all around, and we have these little plastic, whatever you want to call them, panels. So I am going to take these mud guards off. This tractor's getting new tyres on the rear, and the mud guards was the only thing that was kind of left on it that was it was making it look a bit shabby looking. Like everything else has been kind of done over a bit of time. Everything's fairly well tidied up on it. So I'm going to pull these off, and I have to make up a couple of little plates to weld in here, because the mud guards themselves are actually very solid. There's not much rust on them as such. It's just these little holes where there is you can see this little beam here. The moisture and mud, and I suppose, all sits in behind that and rots it from the inside out. But otherwise they're actually very solid, they're very good. And these are actually very expensive new, so there's no point in going to too much trouble. It's only a matter of a little bit of sheet metal work and a little bit of fillers to just tidy it all up when I'm finished it. Paint them up, and the job's a good one, because anyway, if you buy new ones, you still have to paint them anyway. So it's not going to take long to repair these for the cost. I think they're roughly in and around maybe 600 euros, maybe actually more. I think it could be 700 euro for two mud guards. So like really a little bit of work, a day's work max will pretty much have them all tidied up. So I'm going to start taking them off here now. I have spread some releasing oil on all these bolts, and I'm going to start taking them out. That's not going to work. So you see these screws, the heads are completely gone. It's completely gone, so even the screwdriver isn't even coming close to holding it. This one was the same. This one actually just snapped. These plastic coverings are broke anyway. I don't really care about them, but I have another one here. I don't know how this one's going to go, but probably exactly the same deal. But yeah, I'm just going to use the grinder and I'm going to chop them off. It's the quickest way. So that's that one out. Right, another few to go here, but that's the general idea. Going too quickly, I've already pulled out a couple of them. A couple of the nuts on these. Pretty straightforward. I just used this little gun again, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna do the same on both sides. Yeah, so there's the mudguard off. So just going to do exactly the same to the other side. I didn't expect this. This is pretty bad here, but at the end of the day, didn't plan on doing the cab up just yet. I can wait, I think, till the future. But we'll fix the mudguards up. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. I don't know, we might get a little bit of metal just to patch in there, just maybe just to help it stop completely falling apart for now. But yeah. So we've got the second mudguard off, and these little plastics that's on them are not original, so I'm going to take them off anyway because I need to get them off to be able to paint it. So yeah, taking these off. I'm just going to cut the bolts because they're just little penny bolts, so they're not worth anything. And these here are not going back on. They do look okay on it, but they're not. When put on right, you can see there's a bit of a waver in them. Well, maybe they stretched over time, or the heat maybe affected them, but they're coming off anyway. And we're going to leave it probably original. There is a proper black strip we can get for the edging of it, but we can do that later if we want. We can have a look and see, can we buy one of those, and because it does look actually good on it. But for now, we're going to actually clean them down and put them back on without those. So I'm going to cut all these off here now. So that's that. Simple, quick. It's off now, and this is ready for. I'm thinking I'm going to probably spot blast this to tidy it up properly. It will get me back to steel, and it will leave me with a good surface to go with. So I might just hook up the spot blaster to do this. It'll be just so much quicker and easier, and the spot blaster will knock a lot of this rust out, give me back to steel where I'll know exactly where I have to cut out and weld in a little patch here. Yeah, it's very solid though. It's not actually rotten. It's literally just that little bit there where it's in behind that main rib. It's just because the dirt gets stuck in behind it. The dirt can get up here. It's such a bad kind of a design really, because you're guaranteed once there's dirt behind metal like that, and it can stay damp as well for a period of time. It's just going to rot metal. So yeah, so I'm just going to do exactly the same with the other one, and they're ready for spot blasting. Might get around to it today, but we'll see. So finished up, got all the mud guards off, and yeah, this is the surface I'm kind of looking for. I attempted to sandblast it myself, but unfortunately the sandblaster is not good enough. I don't have the air capacity, and the sandblaster just not working right. So I'm going to get a guy to do it now later on. Oh, sorry, tomorrow probably. So yeah, it'll be. Yeah, I want them completely back to steel. So things like this here, this little bit of rot, I can cut this out. Well, a little bit of plate in here, and tidy it all up properly. But they're good and solid, even with sandblasting them there. Like there's a wee bit of pitting on the inside edge where the window is, and where the rubber of the window is. But yeah, I'm going to get them blasted properly, and it leaves me with a nice clean slate to work off. Easy to fill, easy to plate, etc, etc. So that's the next plan, and I'll go from there. damaged. I'm going to grind this up and fix it up a bit. It's not letting the socket on. Should be letting the socket on. A couple of these nuts were wrong in the half shaft, so or in the a couple of the bolts were wrong, so I have to those nuts put on the back of them, so I have to get a spanner now to hold them. So that's the nut that was used on the back. It actually is a wheel nut, but it was just bolted onto the back just to hold the bolt in because there's no threads left. That's it. So we get them loaded up and that'll do us. So as I was saying, these couple of bolts that I went to take out when I was trying to get the socket on them, I couldn't get the socket in on them because they were a little bit beat up and damaged and rusty, and so I just quickly give them a little run of the bench grinder, tidy them up a little bit, and as you can see, that's what you want. The slot into the socket, no problem. So that's another little job done that'll just make things easier. Only took a couple of minutes. Another little issue we had with the tractor was this front rim. So this front rim was changed. These were good. These were second-hand rims that we used, but they were perfect condition. And we sent all the rims away to be painted, fully redone. And they were painted and came back. They went on the tractor with new tyres. And within maybe about a month, the tyre started to go down. So we thought there was a puncture. We got the tyre guy out to fix it, and he said that there was no problem with the tyre and there's no puncture on the tyre. It was the rim. So what we later discovered was the bolts that were put in by the guys who painted them were left loose. And what happened was, because they were loose, they moved around. You can see a little bit of where the paint has rubbed off. So this centre part of the rim was rubbing the outer, and it cracked these wells here. Actually, that one there is cracked. That's one of the ones that's cracked. There's a little crack along, just a hairline crack along that weld from it being beat off this here. We had a noise in the tractor. We weren't sure what it was, and we thought it was maybe an axle problem or something. And obviously then there had to be a tube put in this tyre. So I talked to the guy that actually done it originally, and he says, look, we'll stand by it and we'll sort it out. It was our fault, obviously. So I am going to take this wheel off as well, even though it's just it doesn't need a tyre, and we're just going to take it off, get this fixed now when we have the tractor actually that it's not mobilised and it's out of action. Oh, need the battery. Try the Milwaukee now at full power and see how it goes. It usually never fails. There we go. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to avoid damage in this centre hub because it can get scraped when you're trying to take the wheel off, so just trying to get it at the right level just to take it off. It's a wee bit challenging, to be honest. Needless to say, that wasn't going to work. It was a little bit adventurous, but I'm going to use the tractor to lift them in, which I didn't really think of before.
So on everything that was going on, I forgot to put the jack down. And I decided to put the jack down and try prop this side of the axle. The little bit of timber that was in it wasn't strong enough. So, as you can see, it split. And this happened. Which is very lucky because I'm just going to try and save it now. I'm going to take the other tractor and I'm going to push down on the back arm on this back corner to make sure that there's a bit of stability in the back side. And just going to push it down here, hopefully. And then I'm going to try and get the jack underneath the front of it again and get it jacked back up. But yeah, I was actually lucky escape. It didn't completely fall off because there's actually no wheels on there at all. I think actually this wheel here, still sitting here, managed to just kind of save it from completely just toppling over. It isn't carrying any weight. I don't know how it didn't break the window. Hopefully there's no damage. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, it's not ideal. But I'm going to try and fix this now.
So I'm going to leave this here now just as protection in case something happens again. So that wasn't actually, I didn't plan for that to come back over just as quick as it did, but it did, which is good. Yeah, so I'm going to leave that there for a little minute, and I'm going to go around here and try and fix up the front. I'm just going to rest in the stand until I can reset the jack. Well, I might actually just leave it on this stand. It might be the safest. We'll just see. We gently just try this now. Now, that's okay for now, that'll be safe. So, that's everything okay for now. Back on 4 wheels as such. And back to loading the tyres. So just got the new tyres fitted on my back. These are the old ones, and I'm also waiting on the other one to be repaired. The front one is still out of action, so I'll just get these unloaded and we'll probably get them on later on. And yeah, I'll have to wait probably a week for the other one to be repaired. Just seem to be very busy or something, so yeah, I'm gonna get this done first. And yeah, happy with these now. Hopefully we'll get a bit of work done out of these. It's a big improvement, obviously. Huge difference. But these might be useful for somebody who might actually put these up for sale for very small money. They might actually, somebody be interested in these for yard work maybe. If you're walking around a yard, like, you don't need really rubber, so might do somebody, we'll see. So before putting these wheels on, I was going to just address this issue that I created myself. So whenever the tractor decided to fall off the jack on me yesterday, the window, this side window, very, very lucky I didn't break it. I do not know how I didn't, but it was open. It was open slightly, and it hit the rear wheel when the tractor fell down on the wheel. So this was kind of sitting open a little bit, and yeah, it hit the wheel anyway, and it bent the hinges a little bit. Now I'm after managing to get them a little bit straighter than the way this was kind of this side, and there's the same on the top. It was bent out, but there's a huge gap here now, and ideally you should have like a kind of an even gap here, an even gap there. Now when I started working at this a few minutes ago, there was no gap here, and the window was shutting over here where it actually wouldn't shut at all. So I got it managed to get it shut, but it's not where it should be. So I'm going to open the window now, and I'm going to attempt to get the window off. Hopefully I can get these screws open to get the window off. If I get the window off, I can properly beat these back, because I don't really have a proper way of pulling these back, and it's just not going too well. And I'm afraid if I stress the glass too much, it'll just smash the glass, which is not a good situation. So I'm going to take the window off, straighten the hinges, and see how we get on. Get this gap back where it should be. Somebody has cut this before with a grinder and rewelded it because they obviously couldn't get it off. It's actually very, very bad job, but I suppose it works. But this here, I'm going to heat this, put a little bit of oil on it, and hopefully get it turning again. It's seized. And then when I get that straightened, that's probably why that window's actually not sitting right. It's probably actually not me that was the cause of why the window's not opening properly and closing properly. So if I get this all working right, oil these up, have them sitting right.
that's that. Got them tyres on anyway, and back down on the wheels. Slid it off the jacks, so they look the part. I know I've no mud guards at the minute, but look really, really well. They're gonna make a great tractor of that, because the main pulling part of a tractor is the rear tyres. So we didn't have that for a very long time properly. We didn't have a great grip. We had good front tyres, but the rears are do the most work. So yeah, so that's it. We're going to just keep going on with getting things tidied up on it anyway.